I want you to listen to what this top Democrat leader just said for the cities. Listen to this in the liberal cities. It says, there will be blood. That is a quote. Democrat lawmakers say their base is preparing for violence. Both of those are direct quotes. What are we doing? This was after the MacArthur Park situation where people went in, ICE went in, government went in, and started cleaning up some of this area. Not only to get the bad criminals out, but have you ever seen MacArthur Park? I mean, it is just drug infested, gang infested, terrible place in Los Angeles. So we're starting to clean up some of those things, and that's a good thing. It's good to see. Also, another good news story after a lot of bad news stories that we hear, it seems like the USDA and FDA is pushing China from owning land in America. They're starting to take some of that land back. Arkansas started this plan, and you're starting to see more states and even the federal government say this may not be smart. Now, the thing is, how much intel have they already gotten from the lands they already own? But now we're starting to see a pullback, and that's a good sign. Also, we're going to talk about this new mind-reading AI device. We talk about this all the time with AI and how it's getting so, it's growing so quick and becoming so much smarter that it's literally encapsulating humans, and to now point where it literally can mind read some human brains. Now the thing is, what if all of a sudden it says something false and that person gets quote unquote arrested for it? I mean, we're literally looking at like the Minority Report that Tom Cruise played in. I mean, we're seeing this dystopian movies play out right in real life. Grok had a kind of a flub up the other day. Claude had a flub up the other day. So what we're seeing is AI's not perfect, and all of a sudden if it says something wrong and it says it read your mind and it said that this is what you're thinking, how dangerous is that? And then lastly, we're going to discuss again, not really Texas, but there's another massive flood. Massive flood. 5 inches of rain that fell within like 90 minutes in Chicago. Very atypical. Now this goes along with the Texas storm that they did confirm. They did confirm seeding operations went and happened literally 2 days before. Why don't we quit playing God and let God be God and quit messing with the weather? Let's dive into these stories today. This video starts right now. Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new, please go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell. Give us a thumbs up or a thumbs down, that's okay. But let us know what you think about the content of today's video. Now, we have another channel, Life with Colby Mack. We're over here sitting this way because I've got bacon, literally, smoking on the smoker, and it smells absolutely amazing. I wish you could smell this, but you can't, I'm sorry. But you can go watch it on Life with Colby Mack. Check out the other channel, Life with Colby Mack. Misty has a channel called Life on the Farm too, so please go check out those other channels. You see how we actually live this prepared, sustainable life that we always talk about and try to teach you on and try to gain wisdom on. Now let's jump into the stories. First, let's talk about this AI thing, and then we'll move into some of the other stories. But we try to really kind of hone in on some of the AI things because I think they're very important for us to focus on. This is from Study Finds. It says, a new mind-reading AI predicts what humans will do next. It says this happened in Germany, an artificial intelligence system that can now predict your next move before you even make it. We're not just talking about your click to buy now that Amazon kind of has in your algorithm. It says it is actually exploring uncharted territory where it's learning new skills to know more about you. And when we teach our AI to know more about us, then they actually know better than we know, is what it says. Researchers have developed an AI called Centaur that accurately predicts human behavior across virtually any psychological experiment. Now think about that. We have an AI now. We have several AIs that now can manipulate, can lie, can steal, can now is stronger. And it says, remember, Elon Musk said that crypto is not even safe when it comes to supercomputing and AGI and AI, that it could pretty much take over. Then we have the fact that we build these things. They have biases, they have mess ups. Grok kind of messed up this week where it had too much biases. Actually, they said, the engineer said it wasn't hacked, but it just had some bugs we had to work out in it. Now, when we hear about those kind of things, and then all of a sudden we hear this new AI capability that can literally telepathically read your brain in your mind and tell you exactly what you're fixing to do, you become the algorithm. What did I tell you about all this stuff? A lot of times when we buy these apps and we download this stuff and we're surfing and all these data points get our information, they're building who you are and through your biometrics. I mean, here you are, they're letting you scan your eyes, your thumbs, everything like that. It's unbelievable that we've gotten to this point, but now we're here. So how do we solve it? Well, there's no way to really quote unsolve it. But here's what I would say this, and this is just my opinion. We've learned just to say, look, we're gonna kind of turn off digital for a little bit. Now we may watch TV, we don't have some kind of TV that's watching us, but what I'm saying is, like our kids, if they have like devices, Nintendos, anything like that, we make sure they are managed very heavily. They are not just able to go grab tablets. They're not just able to go get on a computer. They're not able to just go get on a game. Well, the same thing with when we get to our table. We've gotten to where we're not allowing our kids, and of course our kids don't have a smartphone. They have what we call dumb phones. All three of our kids that are of age, none of them have any kind of access to the internet. They have no access to social media. We believe that's dangerous. They have no access to AI. They have literally a talk and text phone. Now, here's the thing. Me and Misty are the same way. We have to kind of compute ourselves to say, we have to kind of tell ourselves to stay away from the ease of always using cell phones or using some kind of technology. The more we allow technology in our life, the more that this AI capability will learn more about us. And here's the thing, if AI is not perfect and it has biases, and all of a sudden you are a conservative person, or you're a person that's against the power at be, who's to say that this AI is not trying to manipulate you, steal from you, or target you? Which is what they said Claude can do, and some of these other engineers said they were blackmailed because of AI capabilities, along with now this new AI that can actually predict what your thought pattern is next. What if they said, well, look, you're going to commit a murder. Your goal, I saw it in your mind. So all of a sudden we have this imperfect thing that's now grading us based on something that has not happened yet. That is literally dystopian movies there, folks. That is Minority Report with Tom Cruise. That these AI-generated computer human things were telling the world that this was going to take place and they were going to stop crime. You watch if they don't use this kind of technology in some kind of way of surveillance and security to give you, to say this is what they're going to say. Look, we want to keep you safe in these cities. This may be the best option. So we are going to see really the crime before it happens. We're going to make sure that it doesn't take place because we're going to surveil, we're going to know, and if we see some mischief with the algorithm and with people, we're going to stop it before it happens. So is that innocent before proven guilty, or is that we're going to just assume you're always guilty because AI told us? Very dangerous. Now, another story I want to nail on right quick before we really get to the meat of this video. This video is really more about the city's issue and these Democrats that are pushing against this administration, where we're almost seeing a civil unrest on purpose. But before we get to that, I want to share one more little thing that again we cannot lose sight on. A big push and a big win was U.S. moves to ban Chinese purchases of U.S. farmland for national security concerns. This is a great move, but like most times with government, I've become a little bit more on the cynical side because we've allowed for China, and again, you know, we've shown you the map, I'm showing it to you as we speak, but pretty much the Chinese map showed that they already had so much farmland already around military bases. They've had that for years upon years upon years upon years upon years. A lot of these governors, especially Democrat governors, along with the Biden administration, gave them access. So if that's the case, and we're saying now, yeah, we're going to run them off, we're going to take their land, that's a great thing. I'm glad we're doing it. But is it almost too little too late? I love that Arkansas started this. I love that Sarah Huckabee Sanders started this to where she's pushing to take their farmland. Missouri, I think, is another one. So you're starting to see this movement. And now FDA, USDA is getting in on it, the Department of Agriculture with Brooke Rollins. Is it a little too late? I laugh because a lot of times our cities, they'll start building infrastructure and all these stacks and these big roadways, and they're always expanding roads. Have you noticed that every time you go to a city, they're expanding roads so that there's traffic jams? Well, what's so funny, by the time they actually get the road built and has the thoroughfare it needs, it's like the town's already moved to the next location. So it's almost like government's always a little too late, you know? Everything's always a little too late. Government needs to quit being reactive and start being proactive. The files that were supposed to be released yesterday, the war situation's always going on. Instead of being reactive, our government needs to learn to be leaner and more proactive. So I think this is a great move by Brooke Rollins and the Trump administration. However, I'm scared it's a little too late because whatever information or intelligence they wanted or needed, whatever value they took out of that land, it's pretty much done over the last 5 to 10 years. It's great that we're kicking them out. I just wish we'd have done this. I mean, literally, wait, I wish they'd never done it. Isn't that funny? Why did we even give them opportunity to even buy? There should not be a foreign buyer on our lands, individual or countrywide. Now, before we go any further, a word from today's sponsor. And today's sponsor, again, it's one of those things that is just very important. Focus on what I'm trying to show you. It's a great deal right now because of the Amazon Prime Day and all that, but ultimately we have to get preparedness and alternative energy is key. Did you know that 70% of America's power grid has been in service for around 25 years, which is right at or right over its designated lifespan? That means blackouts, hurricanes, big storms, everyday wear and tear could cause a problem to where energy can leave just like that. So can we put all our trust in the utility companies when our grid is failing or very, very vulnerable? That's where these portable battery banks come in handy. You don't need the biggest, flashiest, most expensive unit. You need one that fits your needs. Perfect, lightweight, easy, ergonomical, and it also does what you want it to do. Buy what you need, not what everybody else needs. What you need. If you want to spend a lot of money and buy a whole house generator, great, awesome. But what about the perfect little sweet spot? This Dabson 2000L is just right. Up to 3,300 watt output, this power can drive almost every home application. Ideal capacity, 2 kilowatts is enough to keep your fridge, lights, and phone chargers running through an average outage. Long battery charge cycles, 4,000 cycles, up to 80% plus capacity. Lightweight and small in size, this 2000L only weighs 41 pounds, which may be the lightest 2 kilowatt portable power station on the market today. Now, if you want to keep your food fresh, your soft drink cold, you need to look at this little unit. Dabson is now a part of the Amazon Prime Day. Not only are you getting a phenomenal unit at a good price already, now you're getting a great deal. During the Prime sale, it is $594. Just go to Amazon.com or Dabson.com, type in the Dabson 2000L. Do not miss out on this opportunity. The one thing I love about battery banks, I've built solar arrays. They're complicated, they're hard to understand, but these plug and play units, these battery packs are phenomenal. We take them outdoors, we take them for going camping, we take them for going in the woods, we take them for going hiking, we take them on the road, and then of course, the most important, we keep them at home when the lights are out. They even have a small version that would save you a ton of money as well. Do not miss on this opportunity to get this $100 savings, or more than $100 savings, before it's too late, before it's sold out. And right now there's a special during that Prime Day sale. Do not miss out on the opportunity. Go below, check out those links, click on them, look for the Dabson 2000L. We love battery banks, and this has been a game changer, especially as ergonomic as this one is. Plug and play units, anyone can use it. Check this unit out today. Now let's move to the two very serious conversations that we need to have. The really meat of this video today. I want you to listen to what Hakeem Jeffries, this is the leader of the Democrats in the House. House Democrats are getting torched by their own base, and some of their constituents are literally suggesting to light a match. Shocker, we know that they love peace. I mean, the Democrats love peace. I mean, we're going to talk about the time of love in 2020, the summer of love. We talk about the times of putting Steve Scalise in the hospital, Rand Paul in the hospital, the attempts on the president's life. I mean, we could just keep on going. But it says liberal activists are confronting Democrat lawmakers in town hall, office meetings, online, and demanding that we start fighting dirty. The Democrats are pushing people like the leader, Hakeem Jeffries, to fight dirty. It says in a candid interview, dozens of House Democrats seem anger and despair, and they are dangerous because they are looking for appetite of chaos. Now, they're very, very careful with their wording. But did you know this? A lot of people didn't talk about this. Did you know that someone opened fire on a ICE facility just a few days ago? They neutralized him. Did you see MacArthur Park yesterday? MacArthur Park, Los Angeles mayor confronts Fed ICE officers at MacArthur Park. They're trying to run them out. There's people literally trying to harm ICE. No matter what you think of them, again, it's like this. That's what I said all the time. No matter if we like Barack Obama or Joe Biden, they were the president. Doesn't mean we have to like them, but we have to respect the office of the Constitution that says they're president. Doesn't mean we like it. For instance, like I told you before, our elections here locally changed, so we had a major Democrat sweep. Doesn't mean I like it, but I have to respect the leadership. That doesn't mean I have to, kowtow to them. Doesn't mean I have to bend the knee to them. What it does mean, though, is I have to respect the office. Well, like for instance, we literally see Karen Bass pushing back, Gavin Newsom, both literally using wording that says they're going to bring chaos to the streets and civil unrest to the streets. I mean, Hakeem Jeffries does like a picture, and basically what he's doing in the picture, I'll show you the picture. It's unbelievable. Here's a picture of like a guy holding a bat. And it was about, well, you know, this, blah, 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 blah. And he was talking about the dangers of the Trump administration. Why are you holding a bat? I mean, what you got a bat for, man? See, it's the things, they're not outright saying, well, go to the streets. Now, some are. I mean, like Maxine Waters and AOC, they're telling you to do that. But even the main leadership they're trying to do it in a way that you can understand it. They try to beat around the bush so they can get out of it if all of a sudden something goes really wrong. Karen Bass, same way. She's walking down in MacArthur Park with all these people around her. Remember, if you ever go look at, just get Google images of MacArthur Park, what it looks like. It is a hub for danger. I mean, it's kind of like all these other places like Kensington and Philadelphia. All these dangerous places where things are being used, illegal substances are being used, things are happening, gang issues. I mean, literally, it's a place of very bad things. And now she's walking around like she owns the place and like she's going to be over it. And to be honest with you, what she's doing, she's just getting a photo op. So she's got all these officers around her because of the dangers of it. So now ICE is coming in and kind of stepping in and saying, okay, we're wanting to fix this issue. We're wanting to get some of these criminals out. And they're pushing back. Do you realize this party is standing up for illegal immigrants and other people, and people that do bad things to each other, to do bad things to Americans? They're standing up for them more than they're standing up for you. It's amazing. Now, does that mean the Republicans are, you know, angels? No, they're actually making huge mistakes too. But it's sad that our two leaderships, we almost have to find the lesser evil. And what I'm saying is this: when you see the rhetoric that Hakeem Jeffries and Karen Bass and Maxine Waters and AOC and Gavin Newsom are using, it is going to make for those crazy leftists, it's going to make them go crazier, and it's going to make them go to the streets. They're calling for riots and chaos. This will take place. And when you see this pushing against an administration, what you're seeing is true civil unrest. Now, I'll be honest with you. When Biden or Barack Obama were president and they were doing some crazy leftist things, I didn't see one time that Christians went to the streets and started burning things. Did you? Did you see any, you know, conservatives go out there and burn things and break things and loot Target and Walgreens and Walmart? Did you see that? I didn't either. Be very careful of this, because I believe that civil unrest is going to bring forth chaos, and that chaos is going to cause problems for you if you live in this city. So make sure you're watching your surroundings if you live in these cities, because you're going to see this liberal push. It's going to make for civil unrest. And I believe the summer of love that we saw in 2020, I think it's just going to hell in comparison to the point of what we're really going to get to in the next coming few weeks and months ahead. Now, last story I want to hit on real quick. Because we've talked about this. I think everybody's talked about this because of the tragedy in Texas. I want you to listen to this. This was shared by Nick Sorter. It says, breaking: water rescues underway in Chicago because 5 inches worth of rain has failed in 90 minutes. New Mexico flooding takes place to where people have to be evacuated. Now let's go back to Texas. Listen, NBC confirms, NBC now, this is a liberal ideology. NBC confirms that there was seeding operations in the cloud 2 days before the flooding. Now the CEO of this company just completely denies that he has anything to do with this. He may not. But don't you think it's just a little weird? Don't you think it's a little weird this kind of stuff happens? Why don't we just quit modifying? Here's my push. This is wild. This is wild. Crazy thought pattern here, people. Why don't we just allow for the earth to provide for us like it always has? You know, for however, 5,000 years this world has provided for us. God has provided. He's provided the cows to graze. He's provided for regenerative agriculture. He's provided for the trees to give us natural carbon dioxide, oxygen exchange. Instead of man-made things trying to fix, why don't we just go back to the way that it should be? Crazy. Natural foods. Holistic foods. If we live in areas that don't have a lot of rain, that areas have been without a lot of rain for years. If we live in an area with a lot of rain, that area's had a lot of rain for a lot of years. Why don't we just leave it alone? Because the more that we see this kind of stuff in manipulation, the more that can we really trust it. It's kind of like the AI story at first. How can we use AI to manipulate it and to say this is what's going to happen when they don't really know? And it's not perfect. It doesn't have, you know, omnipotence like God. It is truly a failed system based on a computer. So things like Texas, New Mexico, Chicago, they could be completely natural, or they could be modified because we're allowing them to do it in our skies. Sometimes it's just better just to sit back and quit doing all that, huh? Guys, let me know your thoughts on today's video from the civil unrest. Literally, the Democrats are calling for civil unrest in the cities. If you're in the cities, get out or hunker down. If you are worried about some of the other things happening in the atmosphere, that's why we're building greenhouses, folks. That's why we're doing raised beds. That's why we're trying to do microclimates, because sometimes I don't know if we can trust every player around us. It's great that now all of a sudden USDA is pulling back the Chinese land, but how long have they owned it and what have they gotten from it? Good things are happening, but let's see if we can have more good things happen. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Be free, be free.